You just leave that to me. Now, what I want you to do is to write to your parents, ask them to send you a list of all the major glosses and tell them it's all hush-hush. We don't want anyone to get in here first.
1 million models get photographed every day.
Ah, yes, but how many of them have you seen photographed behind a barbed wire fence with uniformed guards looming in the background? It's a scoop. It'll be a sensation.
Look, I've got to get out of here before I'm sprung.
Now, 10%. How does that sound?
What for?
Commission? Well, you're going to need an agent, and seeing as I'm living here with you, I mean, I would say that I would fit the bill perfectly.
Whatever you say.
Good. God, what did I go back to that cell for?
You should see it. The shelves are painted white and everything, except for the top ones. But I think that's what this thing's for.
Yes, well, I'll pop over and see it just whenever I can, okay?
Yeah.
How's everything with you, Sarah?
Fine. Why shouldn't it be?
Oh, I just wondered, that's all. I mean, well, I'd ask that question of anybody, no matter what...
No matter what colour they were, right?
Well, no. All I meant was that...
That I'm a poor little pickaninny who needs lots of sympathy because she wasn't born white.
Oh, no, that's not what I meant at all.
Yeah, pull the other one.
Geez, you look fantastic, just like them Sheilas in the ads.
You certainly took your time getting that hand cream. I hope it wasn't all spent on that.
It was me, Mrs. Pringle, not her.
Oh, Mrs. Pringle, I forgot the hand cream. Could I possibly just go back and get...
No, you can't. Lisa, I thought you were supposed to be on cleaning duties.
The floors were spotless. It was my idea for her to come up here. I mean, she needed company. Well, I could hardly leave her by herself in the dorm, could I?
Are you all right, Lisa?
I'm fine, thanks to Laurie.
What happened, Lise?
I brought some of Lister's stuff back, you know. Got upset again.
Actually, Mrs. Pringle, that's what I wanted to talk to you about.
Yes?
Do you think we could use the camera, under supervision, of course, to take some fashion shots of Lisa?
Well, whose idea was this?
Well, what does it matter? It'd be criminal to let beauty like that go to waste, wouldn't it?
Well, how do you feel about it?
Fine. Even got myself an agent.
And what about you, Sarah? I mean, you look great in that makeup yesterday. You interested?
Yeah. Outback Abbo pretends to be fashion model. No thanks. Come and Merle.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind finding out more about that model and stuff myself.
Now, what did I say?
Touchy, isn't she?
Yes, very.
Well, what do you think? She worth photographing or not?
Well, of course, she's very pretty, but I'd have to check it out with the governor first.
Ow!
Oh, Laurie.
Thank you, Mrs. Pringle. I knew you would.
Why'd you get so upset? She didn't mean nothing. Want a bet? Well, all she said was you...
You're looking for trouble mixing with her, Merle.
Jews that's causing the trouble. What do you mean?
Lucky he shouldn't have walked in front of the mower.
Shouldn't go calling her that.
Well, it's her fault for having such a good tan.
We'll see how tough you are one-to-one.
Rack off, Booger. I'll spread you all down the corridor. I reckon I might anyway.
Don't you do that, you're scaring her.
That's the whole idea. If I was you, I'd go walkabout fast.
Oh, you let her go.
Rack off, Jones. It's not your fight.
Well, you shouldn't go waving it round like that because you might hurt her.
Come in. What is it?
I'd say a workaholic who needs a break.
Oh, I'm sorry. The department's sweating on these budget reports, not to mention the overtime sheets.
I'll let them sweat. I mean, you've been here half the night. What do they expect?
Far too much sometimes.
How about joining me for lunch? Do you good to have a break?
Not late already.
Getting there. I'd better tell you I have an ulterior motive. Had a call from the West. Sarah's foster parents. They asked to meet me over lunch. Thought it'd be a good idea if you came too.
Something wrong?
Didn't go into it over the phone. Tell you what, though. If you don't drag yourself away from that desk of yours, you're going to end up using it as a pillow. Let's go.
watch out for the sharks. The fashion industry's full of them.
Didn't know you did modelling?
I haven't. I've heard enough about it to know the pitfalls,
Where
though.
from, the telly?
Hastings, an ex of mine, used to own an advertising agency. And he wasn't accusing people of stealing his ideas. He was busy ripping theirs off.
You two would get a lot more done if there was a bit less chatter.
Oh, it's not chatter, Mrs. Pringle. We're discussing Lisa's career.
Hey, Mrs. P, is it okay if I put up a sign for the shop?
Oh, yes, I suppose so. What is it?
Amazing.
That is not at all funny, McPherson.
Well, look who's back.
What is it? Did you forget something?
Is it all right if I borrow Laurie for a minute? Need help with the trestle?
Yes, of course, but don't be too long.
See you later. Bye.
You've got a sick sense of humour, McPherson.
Well, the bitch went for me with a lump of wood. I thought you were still after me. I freaked out when I saw it was Merle.
She badly hurt?
I don't think so, but she's out cold.
You all right, Merle?
What happened?
Oh, it was my fault. I thought you were McPherson.
Oh, yeah, I remember. I was tracking you.
Look, we'd better get it to Sister. Make up something on the way.
I'm all right, fair income.
Oh, I'm really sorry, Merle. But you should have said something before you came in.
I would have, but I couldn't think of anything to say.
Bitch took off like a scared rabbit. Would have gone after her, except Jones did a lolly.
Not typical. Lacey gave her a fright. I reckon that's earned you a free smoke.
You got some grass?
Special delivery over the fence, Queensland heads.
Well, how'd you know you'd be doing garden duty?
Because I keep my ear to the ground. I notice things. Like the fact that Ferguson and Adams are going to do some under-the-counter trading when the bloody shop opens.
Ah, Ren, I'll be watching them like a hawk.
I've been watching the freak for 4 bloody years and that bitch is still here.
Sprinkle's all for it. Probably because she's an amateur shutterbug herself.
Yeah. Hey, remember all those pics her and Merv took on their honeymoon?
Thought those two had been married for years.
Nah, you should have seen Merv courting her. Casanova, he ain't.
Wonder how I'm going to get this stuff off my hands. Looks like I'm wearing sort of off-white gloves.
What's Wes wearing? Full set of leathers?
Look, haven't you done enough damage for one day?
Why don't you buzz off before you bore us all to death?
Hey, Vic, what do you call an abo with dandruff?
I don't know, what?
A Lamington.
That's not fair, making fun of her like that.
We all know what's small, ugly, and got hairy legs, don't we?
Oh, aren't you clever bong? Black sense of humour, hey?
Oh, I'm getting real sick of you two. Who are we going to chuck out first, McPherson or Spider?
McPherson. Oh, what are you doing?
What's it look like? I'm turfing you out.
Hey, we've got a right to be here, Jenkins.
Not if I ban you, you don't. After you.
Take it easy. It's just a bit of fun.
It's your turn next, sister. Fasten your seatbelt.
Oh,
Give her a good
come on.
send-off, girls!
I'm gonna get that bitch.
That won't do you any good. She'll just hire a gang and take you apart.
What are we going to do, Reet?
'Cause I don't know. We're going to have to think of something.
I didn't think you'd mind me asking Mrs. Reynolds along.
Oh, of course not.
How's she coping? I've heard that some of the prisoners take exception to coloured people.
I won't deny there have been problems. But some of the women have taken her under their wing, and I'm hoping that'll smooth things over, apart from what Pamela's doing, of course.
It's comforting to know you both care so much about her.
Well, might have helped if you tried to speak to her, too.
Well, to be perfectly honest, we thought it might aggravate the situation. Because it was partly our fault that she got mixed up with those anarchists in the first place.
The last in a long line of mistakes.
We thought we'd make a success of it.
Yes, well, self-recrimination's never helped anyone. Sarah's out on a limb, and we have to try and help her.
We thought it would be a gesture on our part to try to trace her real parents.
I thought you were both dead against it.
Well, we were. At first.
We had some dreadful arguments about it. We honestly thought it wouldn't be in Sarah's best interests.
And that's when she tried on her own and got into trouble.
Afraid so. We have found out who her parents were.
And you think she ought to know?